Vandals set a tree on fire and deface and damage part of a southern Kentucky city park.
Scammers using fake checks to put secret shoppers on the hook for thousands.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening, and thanks so much for watching WKYT. It has been a wet and rainy day here in the Bluegrass.
We're also tracking storms throughout the night, and as we head into our weekend, let's begin with WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Yeah, a few thunderstorms across southern Kentucky, especially producing at least some small hail right now. That's the main threat to go along with some very heavy rains. Defender Radar Network lighting up with these thunderstorms that continue to come at us in little clusters. Northern parts of the area, rain-cooled air keeping us with just some general light rains. Though the farther south you get a little more instability now. Severe thunderstorm warning until 6 for parts of Pulaski County and into the Rockcastle County area. That does include Mount Vernon and Eubank in the northern parts of Pulaski County, but the storm that is moving in has weakened tremendously compared to what we were seeing a little bit ago. That is still into parts of Lincoln County as we speak. To the west of that, a little stronger action, though, south of Liberty, Casey County, and another cell around the Campbellsville area. Let's jump that warning and let's go just to the east. Look at that cluster of lightning showing up here into areas south of Berea, right on the Rockcastle and Jackson County line. That extends toward the south into parts of Clay County. General rains now around I-64 and north. Western Kentucky, things getting a little juicy here, and all of a sudden, look at the explosion of thunderstorms. That's a tornado warning out for parts of Hopkins County, where a funnel cloud was spotted a little bit ago. South into Tennessee, additional rounds of showers and storms that are rumbling in from southwest to northeast. Guys, those thunderstorms will get into central Kentucky a little later this evening. Again, it's overall a small severe weather threat, but a large threat in terms of overall thunderstorms and heavy rains. A new hour-by-hour forecast is in, and I'll share that with you in a few minutes.
Right now, fire crews are at a fire at a beauty salon in Stanton.
The fire started this afternoon at the Just Plain Fancy Boutique. Monique Blair is in Powell County with more on the fire in our top story at 5:30.
Stanton firefighters tell me this fire started around 3:30 this afternoon here at the Just Plain Fancy Boutique on Main Street, and you can see flames are still coming from the building. I just talked to an employee of the Just Plain Fancy Boutique here on Main Street. Hannah Curtis says she was working around 3:30 when she noticed smoke coming from the ceiling of the store. Curtis says the store has had electrical issues recently, so she called 911. While emergency crews were on their way here, she says several people from the community came to help her. Many people trying to grab as many items from inside this boutique as they could. There's also 2 apartments inside this building, and Curtis says the people who were inside those apartments were able to make it out safely. The firefighters tell me there is extensive damage, and it's likely this building will be a total loss.
I was scared to death. Even whenever I first smelled the smoke, like, I called Amy and I was like shaking. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm freaking out. And she's like, it's okay. Like, you know, I'm going to call the landlord. Everything will be okay. And so then, like, whenever whenever that woman said there was a fire, like, I was just like, I don't know. I've never had to call 911 before, so I was just freaking out. I don't know. It was scary.
Now, firefighters tell me this building is at least 100 years old, and right now they believe the cause of the fire was an electrical malfunction. In Stanton, Monique Blair, WKYT.
Monique, thank you. Firefighters tell us they will be out working at this building for several hours to make sure there are no hot spots left.
Police have arrested a daycare owner accused of leaving a toddler in a hot car. 71-year-old Jackie Thomas is charged with second-degree manslaughter. Investigators say Thomas picked up 2-year-old Levante Swain last Monday, but never dropped him off at Little Kings and Queens Daycare in Louisville. Swain was found dead hours later in the back of Thomas's SUV at an elementary school. Thomas was also the boy's great aunt.
Your Honor, my client is 71 years old. The child in this case was her great nephew. This is a tragedy, to say the least. I've known Jackie for 25 years. She has a really large family here in Louisville. She's worked her entire life and continued to work up into the incident.
The attorney told the judge that Thomas's routine had been disrupted that day. The judge set a $100,000 bond and forbid Thomas from driving. The state closed the daycare while the investigation continues.
Vandals have hit 2 parks in a southern Kentucky city. It happened earlier this week in Williamsburg.
Our Phil Pendleton has a look at the damage and the search for who is responsible.
This is something special, especially since, you know, we named it after Bill Woods, who spent over 70 years working on Maine.
But that special part of downtown Williamsburg has a big black eye on it now, or at least a big black mark where someone tried to set a fire here.
Tried to set this tree on fire, which is almost ridiculous.
The fire only burned part of the bark, but the vandals also destroyed an important part of the fountain in the park center.
We spent thousands of dollars on this fountain, and they've broken the electrical part of it.
Vandals also struck here at Briar Creek Park, where this message was left on a slide. There's also some obscene graffiti that was spray painted in other parts of the park. And I'm also told by people that some random fires were set all around the park here at night. The mayor says townspeople need to pay more attention to what's going on around them.
Somebody saw them. And that was something I always knew when I was teaching school. No one is not seen trying to do some damage.
Mayor Harrison says he's not sure how much it'll cost to fix the fountain, but he believes it will be substantial.
I really kind of think I know who did it. I think it's unsupervised kids.
He says he thinks another solution is parents keeping a better watch on their kids when the sun goes down. In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
And the mayor says the park with the most damage is a popular gathering spot for the community.
Police have arrested 2 grandparents after finding a child wandering the streets with a bottle of sleeping pills. Our county-by-county coverage at 5:30 begins in Harlan County. Police say Fred and Sherry Jones were asleep when their 5-year-old grandson wandered off. He was found with sleeping pills and 2 heartburn pills. The boy told police his grandmother had given him the pills to help him sleep. The Joneses are charged with endangering the welfare of a minor and wanton endangerment. In Madison County, a golden alert has been issued for a mother and her 2 disabled children. Sheriff's deputies say Sandra Webster and her adult children, Robert and Patricia Janicki, have been missing since Monday night. They may be in a silver 2007 Dodge Caravan. Sandra Webster requires medication and was said to be in a confused state of mind.
Are you looking for a little extra work? Well, you may be lured into trying mystery shopper opportunities you see online. If so, please think again. Thieves are cleverly luring people into a scam involving counterfeit checks and losing their own money in the process. One man realized the scheme just in time.
I was looking for make a little bit of extra money because I was only working part-time in an Air and Space Museum.
So when Jerry Peterson saw an online ad for a mystery shopper job, he applied, giving them his name, address, and number.
One day, I get this priority mail package with this letter saying, congratulations, we've accepted you as a secret shopper.
Inside the envelope was a check for $3,830, as well as detailed instructions on where to go and what to do. He was told to go to Staples and Office Depot and spend a combined $180, keep $400 for himself, and immediately wire the rest of the money back. Timing is key in counterfeit check schemes.
They want you to deposit this check, quickly withdraw the funds before the bank realizes this check is counterfeit.
Then the victim is responsible for all the money lost. When Jerry discussed the package with his wife, they quickly realized it was a scam. Then they called police.
He immediately goes, oh yeah, this is a fraud. Oh yeah. And I'm like, well, have you seen this before? He says, I see this every day.
Jerry did nothing, and then he started getting calls.
About a week later, I was getting at least 2 phone calls a week asking me have I finished my assignment yet?
His experienced advice is simple.
Don't do anything until you talk to someone that you can trust.
Now, if you're ever suspicious about a package or check you receive in the mail, you can simply take them to a local post office or call a local postal inspector for some help.
Morehead State University honoring some of its best and brightest today. That story in just a few minutes here on WKYT News at 5:30.
I'm Bill Bryant. A battle of Kentucky governors gets even more heated. The bottom line is coming up.
I'm Victor Puente in Lexington, where a fraternity has been suspended from the University of Kentucky for 5 years. Coming up at 6, we'll tell you what the complaint against them says they did.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
The battle between Governors Bevin and Beshear heats up.
And it sounds like a shift in tone for Bernie Sanders. Bill Bryant has more in today's Bottom Line.
Good evening. The feud between Republican Governor Matt Bevin and former Democratic Governor Steve Beshear burns even hotter today after Beshear called a news conference this morning and blasted his successor. Since the reins of state government were handed over from Beshear to Bevin in early December, the two have been critical of each other. Last week, Bevin accused Beshear of having a corrupt administration. He repeated that on WKYT's Kentucky Newsmakers last weekend, and today, Beshear responded.
The way in which this state has been run historically and in recent years, like it's a banana republic of some sort, is an insult to taxpayers. It really is. I was elected to clean this up, and clean it up is what I'm going to do.
He has bullied the legislature. He has bullied our universities. He has bullied you in the media. And he has bullied organizations that rely on state funding. But he's not going to get away with bullying me.
Governor Bevin is traveling overseas. The Kentucky Republican Party quickly criticized Beshear, saying the Frankfort political machine is being exposed for all to see. Democratic presidential candidate Bernie Sanders is now signaling that his fight is more at this point about the party platform than actually winning the nomination. After winning 4 of 5 primaries yesterday, Hillary Clinton is 232 delegates shy of clinching the Democratic nomination. That's including the superdelegates. Her campaign is ramping up in Kentucky ahead of the May 17th primary. Her daughter Chelsea will open the Clinton campaign headquarters in Lexington Friday morning and also attend an event in Frankfort. Republican frontrunner Donald Trump swept Tuesday's primaries and is now framing himself as the presumptive GOP nominee. It comes as Ted Cruz focuses on Indiana's upcoming primary, and John Kasich vows to stay in the race, hoping for a contested convention. Jack Conway, the Democratic nominee who lost the governor's race last November, has joined a Louisville law firm. Bluegrass Politics tweeted this afternoon Conway is working for Thompson, Shepard and Conway. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
Morehead State University took some time today to honor some of its best and brightest. MSU hosted its celebration of student scholarship today, showcasing work of 264 students and 88 faculty in research, creative works, and the performing arts. Both graduate and undergraduate students have invested up to 2 semesters preparing for today.
I'm very proud of the students that we have here at Morehead State. The mentoring of the faculty that is there is quite evident. The talks were fantastic, and the ideas that were expressed were great. Our students are going to be very, very competitive in the workforce as they graduate.
This is the 11th year that MSU has honored students at the event.
9 people have applied to fill a vacancy on the Fayette County School Board. The seat has been open since board chairman John Price died in February. He had been battling leukemia for more than 2 years. Price had served on the board since 2003. The chosen applicant will serve out the rest of his term through the end of this year. Then an election in November will decide who serves for the next 4-year term.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Thunderstorms across central and eastern Kentucky, nowhere near as strong as the storms that are to our west and southwest, where we have greater instability. Let's get into it. Busy Defender radar network as of now, and we are indeed tracking those rounds of thunderstorms across central and eastern Kentucky. Farther south you go, the greater the instability. That's why you've been seeing at least some small hail. This isn't a prime setup for severe weather across central and eastern Kentucky. Doesn't mean we can't get some severe weather. We've already had a little small hail report coming out of parts of southern Kentucky. But these are storms that they bubble up real quickly. As I said earlier, they flex some muscle, then all of a sudden they're back in the puny stage, and we're starting to see these storms pulsing back down just a little bit. That severe thunderstorm warning that was out canceled. That was a weakening storm into southern parts of Lincoln County, never even made it into the warned areas of Pulaski and Rockcastle counties. What we're noticing, though, additional thunderstorms just to the east of this into parts of McKee, over toward Boonville, Owsley County. To the north, now we start to get in on some cooler air on the other side of our front that is draped across the area. So we don't have as much instability. That means the atmosphere isn't kind of just bubbling as much around here. You got to get that rising air to get thunderstorms. Faster we can get that air to rise, the greater the threat for severe weather. Oh, look out into western Kentucky. We have a tornado that has been confirmed near the Pennyrile, and officers out there, law enforcement officials, are tracking that tornado. Tornado warning out for Muhlenberg County right now into parts of Hopkins County, where we had that confirmed tornado near Madisonville a little earlier. Additional thunderstorms are developing across parts of western Tennessee and western Kentucky, and there's a chance that this action works its way into central Kentucky later this evening. Likely, though, fingers crossed, in weakened form. Hour-by-hour forecast, future radar. What looks to be happening, if you just look at this future radar and looking at the environment, we're likely to see all that stuff into western Kentucky come together into a nice little line of thunderstorms that can have some individual bowing segments with that. They maybe have some localized wind damage at some point later this evening. Still, though, we aren't even in a slight risk for severe weather into central and eastern Kentucky. You can get some pockets, though, of some high winds and hail. Heavy rain. Had reports of greater than 2.5 inches of rain already on the day into parts of southern Kentucky. And this computer model has really been trying to drive home the fact that we're going to see some pockets of rainfall that can be greater than 2 to 3 inches. This evening, this is a different model. Has that same line of showers and thunderstorms zipping through here late evening into the early morning of our Thursday afternoon. Not as stormy as today. You'll see a little more sunshine. It's a humid day that can lead to some more scattered thunderstorms. Then we kind of dry it up as we go toward the day on Friday, in between systems, with a decent looking Friday taking shape across the area. Then we go toward the weekend, and we're going to do it all over again. Rounds of thunderstorms into town Saturday, Sunday, maybe into Monday morning. Next week looks cool, with a chance for a shower or a storm middle of the week. Those storms in western Kentucky, though, packing a big punch. The environment around here isn't as prime for severe weather as what our folks to the west are seeing.
But still, we know you'll be tracking what's going on out there for sure.
That's right.
Coming this way. Thank you, sir.
Live look at Lexington rush hour traffic this afternoon. We have several collisions and a lot related to the wet roads. Police are still working one on the outer loop of Manowar near Palumbo. Traffic backing up from Richeroo to Palumbo there. Also, at least one other on the south side at Manowar Nichols Park, and on the north side at Paris and Parkside. It is, of course, affecting our drive times outbound to Paris on Paris Pike, and on the south side, very slow traffic right now toward Nicholasville from the Circle to Manowar. Back to you in the studio.
Matthew Mitchell discussing the future of his program, Rob.
So much going on with the UK women's team. What does Matthew Mitchell believe he has done wrong? And Ed Davender, stricken with a heart attack, the former Wildcat played under Joe B. Hall and Eddie Sutton, will have the latest next in sports. Ed Davender played for the Wildcats from 1984 to 1988. We have no confirmation from his family of his death, but there are posts on Facebook that Davender died earlier today after suffering a massive heart attack. Davender came out of Boys and Girls High School in New York City to play for Joe Hall, giving Joe B. a New York City recruit. He was an outstanding point guard who ended up playing his last 3 years under Eddie Sutton and alongside Rex Chapman his last 2. Davender could score. He ranks 11th on UK's all-time list with 1,637 points. He was quick. He's 4th all-time in steals with 191, 8th all-time list with 436 assists. Davender fell on hard times later in life as he served time for a ticket scam. He's 49 years old. Matthew Mitchell described it this afternoon as one of those darkest before the dawn type deals as he talked about the problems that his UK women's program is facing. Another player departed the program this week, and Mitchell lost 2 more staff members, wiping out the remainder of his staff. He's brought on Kyra Elsie as associate head coach. He has 7 players left on the roster, and he said it's up to him to communicate.
We have a lot of work to do, though. There's no question about it. We have a lot of work to do to make sure that I do a better job communicating with people and making certain that people understand where they fit and what their roles are, and I can improve in that, no doubt about it. But I've been very appreciative of the response from the 7 kids in the room right now and their parents.
The players and their parents aren't the only ones who have shown some support. Mitchell said athletics director Mitch Barnhart has also been supportive, but he also has an urgency. that things have to be straightened out.
There's a tremendous urgency for that Mitch has, and that I have, that I share with Mitch. But I just appreciate the confidence that he has placed in me, and he's always been very supportive, because we are connected with common values, and we have the same beliefs, and we value the same things, and so we have a very, very special connection in that way. And he has been very supportive, but very constructively critical too, and that's what I need as well during this time when I need to make improvements.
Coming up at 6 o'clock, Joby Hall talks about Ed Davender, who he brought to Lexington to play for the Cats over 30 years ago. We'll be right back.